To my surprise, the moment I said water ghost, Uncle Ba's cheerful face froze, his body stiff as if struck by lightning. He leapt up, eyes wide with panic, shouting, "Don't ask me, I don't know anything." Then he bolted, abandoning his beloved tea stall without a second thought. "Something's up." GC reacted like lightning, chasing after him and tackling him to the ground with a textbook takedown, pinning half his body. Seeing Uncle Ba wince in pain, I signaled GC to let go and asked, shocked, "Uncle Ba, what do you know? Why such a strong reaction? What's got you so scared?" Uncle Ba tried to deny it, but GC glared, his voice icy. "Don't talk now, you'll talk at the station." Unable to break free, Uncle Ba relented, grumbling, "Fine, I'll talk. Once GC released him, Uncle Ba rubbed his aching bones, sat down, and whispered as if afraid someone might overhear. "The resort under construction in Tan Phahong near Ba Rang Canal, you know it, right?" "The resort?" I nodded. 2 months ago, I attended its grand groundbreaking ceremony, complete with fireworks and southern folk performances. Located in a fertile area less than a kilometer from Ba Rang Canal, it was touted as Hun Thap's most luxurious destination. Seeing my nod, Uncle Ba continued, his eyes still uneasy. "The contractor Di Jiang Han Shi Siang hired a water ghost a few days ago." "A water ghost?" GC and I exchanged glances, our hearts pounding, sensing we'd stumbled onto something big. "But hiring a water ghost for a construction site in the Mekong Delta?" Uncle Ba explained slowly. "You've misunderstood. The water ghost I'm talking about isn't a spirit." GC and I were stunned, then enlightened as he continued. In the Mekong Delta, construction on soft alluvial soil often requires pile foundations drilled deep into the ground. But the loose soil can cause boreholes to collapse, so bentonite slurry is pumped in to stabilize them. If a drill bit gets stuck or lost, it's not just the expensive equipment worth hundreds of millions of Han that's at stake. The carefully designed borehole becomes unusable, potentially costing billions in damages. This is where professional divers, called construction divers or water ghosts by those in the trade from Sa Jack to CNN Thun, come in. They dive into the muddy depths to retrieve lost drill bits. It's a dangerous job with a high risk of accidents. Each dive is a gamble with death. The pay is substantial, sometimes 30 million Hun per dive. But if they get stuck and die in the mud, compensation can reach hundreds of millions. There's a saying among the Mekong Delta's underworld, dive down, come up with 30 million. Don't come up, get 100 million. This practice, whether by the water ghosts or the contractors hiring them, treads a legal gray area, a taboo rarely spoken aloud. Uncle Ba knew it was an unspoken rule, which explained his initial refusal to talk to GC, a serious crimes captain. So the water ghost wasn't a supernatural entity, just a name that caused our misunderstanding. Kunga's actions at worst skirted the law but had no connection to the body in Ba Rang Canal. I felt a wave of disappointment, like being doused with cold water in the Mekong heat. Just as I was deflating, GC suddenly looked at Uncle Ba, his eyes gleaming as if struck by a revelation. "The water ghost you mentioned, did he come back up?" I froze, then realized what he meant. A drowned body with sand and mud in its fingernails and nose. Didn't that perfectly describe a water ghost, who died trapped in the mud? But Uncle Ba's response doused our hopes again. That was a veteran, turned Vin Hu, with solid skills. It took some time, but he retrieved the drill bit without issue. The lead fizzled out, like a fish slipping through a net, leaving us back at square one. We arranged for Uncle Ba to investigate construction sites across Han Thap to see if any workers had gone missing, hoping to identify the victim and trace their social connections to narrow down suspects. Still, something nagged at me. The victim's details drowning. Sand and mud in their fingernails and nose matched Uncle Ba's water ghost too closely. Could it really be unrelated? GC coordinated with Uncle Ba to pose as a front, allowing plainclothes police to infiltrate sites from the Tan Phahong Resort to major projects in Sa Jek and Henenging. It was a time-consuming task. Han Thap had dozens of construction sites, including 3 large ones near Ba Rang Canal, each with hundreds of workers, mostly migrants from Kiamo and BCC Liu. Even with police methods like checking records or questioning locals, it would take days, and as a journalist, I could only guess at their progress. My curiosity got the better of me. Damn it, curiosity kills the cat, and one day it'll be the death of me. Unable to sit still, I secretly asked Uncle Ba, the water ghost cheese Ing hired, what was his name. Turnvin who? Been in the game 7 or 8 years, rare for anyone to last that long. Uncle Ba said with a mix of admiration and concern before being pulled away by GC to plan. Armed with a name, I mobilized my network from fish vendors in Cao Lãnh market to motorbike taxi drivers at the ferry pier. After a night of hustle, I tracked down Hu the next morning at a cafe by the Tiên River. "Who are you?" Hu, gaunt with short hair and a tired face, eyed me warily. I smiled, extending a hand, keeping my tone friendly. "I'm Min, a journalist. I'd like to interview you." "I heard you're a water ghost?" I cut to the chase, my voice gentle but pointed. Hu frowned, his eyes flashing with irritation. "Who's spreading nonsense?" "I'm a construction diver, trained properly at a vocational school in CNN Thun. I worked on the Rish-Miu Bridge project, handling underwater cable connections. I've only taken a few drill retrieval jobs lately to make extra cash." "Is that so?" I nodded, sipping bitter Fin coffee. "Who? On the 11th of this month, did you retrieve a drill bit at the Tan Pha Hong resort site?" Hu froze. How do you know?" "That's confidential business. I can't talk about it." I smiled lightly, my tone sharpening. "I've been looking for you since yesterday and found something interesting. After that job, you canceled all your contracts for the next month, from SA Jack to Haninga. Why? What are you afraid of to quit so suddenly?" It's confidential." Hu stammered, gripping his coffee cup, sweat beading on his forehead. "You can stay silent," I said, my voice low. "But let me remind you, the police are already at the resort. If they find something, I might be your only media outlet. Don't talk now, and in a few days no one will hear your side." My heart pounded as I said this like a drum in my chest. Hu was right, he had no obligation to tell me anything. I was just a journalist, with no authority to force him. The police investigation at the resort was an exaggeration. They might not find anything. I was gambling, betting that something went wrong during that dive, betting that Hu had a guilty conscience. I spoke calmly, but inside I knew if I was wrong, this lead would vanish. Luckily, I bet right. Hu was silent for a long time, then sighed, his voice trembling. That day, I suited up, put on my oxygen tank, and dove into the mud. It was pitch black down there, like diving into a bottomless pit. I groped around, the mud resisting me, relying on the lid weights to pull me down. The deeper I went, the stronger the water pressure, and at over 20 meters, my head was spinning. But I still hadn't found the drill bit. I was getting anxious. Then I felt something long, and I was thrilled, thinking it was the drill bit. I reached around to hook the cable, but something felt off. A drill bit is hard metal, but this was softer, segmented. Then I realized it had arms, legs, a head. It was a body. The radio crackled, and Chi Siang asked if I'd found it. I was chilled to the bone. I knew what happened. Someone else, another water ghost, had gone down before me and didn't come up. They covered it up. If I spoke up, they'd know I saw the body, and one cut of the cable would trap me down there forever. Terrified, I pretended nothing was wrong, found the drill bit a few minutes later, hooked it, and signaled them to pull me up. Chi Siang laughed, handed me 30 million and patted my shoulder, praising my skills. But my heart was ice cold. I didn't dare say anything, took the money, and left. But every time I think of that body, I shudder, like a ghost is standing behind me. I thought I had a mental issue, so I canceled all my jobs, planning to see a psychiatrist in Saigon. Min, this has nothing to do with me. I'm just a diver. When I went down, that person was already dead. Hearing Hu's story, I was stunned, as if doused with cold water again. Without thinking, I called GC. GC, where are you? At the resort? Wait for me, don't let Dijung Hun Chi Siang leave.
I'm coming.
I jumped on a motorbike taxi, speeding through red dirt roads, the Tian River's breeze whipping past my ears, my heart racing with excitement and anxiety. At the Tan Pahong resort site, I ran in, sweating under the blazing sun. The resort aimed to attract high-end tourists, transforming Tan Pahong into Hen Thap's most glamorous destination. The site was chaotic but showed its future shape, buildings under foundation, spaces reserved for greenery, and a central artificial lake next to a water theater designed in the Mekong's River style, with dazzling water shows under colored lights. GC quietly grabbed my arm to keep me from tripping in my haste. Among the workers, a middle-aged man with a kind face and friendly smile approached. "Uncle Ba, who's this?" Uncle Ba, caught off guard by my sudden arrival, gave an awkward smile. "This is Mr. Chi Si, let me introduce." He winked at me repeatedly, asking whether to tell the truth or make up a cover story to fool Chi Sing. I didn't let Uncle Ba squirm, waving my hand decisively. "Mr. Chi Si Ang, it doesn't matter who I am. I'm here to ask one question." Kung's smile faded, clearly annoyed by my bluntness, but with people around, he couldn't lash out.
He snorted. "Go ahead, I don't promise to answer."
I locked eyes with him, each word deliberate. That day, when the drill bit fell into the mud, was it really just the drill bit?